Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 38 of Your Take, My Take by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And we have our by popular demand, we have Dylan and our March Madness picks. He's holding the board. And so, say hello, Dylan.
Hello.
So, as we always do, we're going to do our picks. I hope you guys find this useful. This is a great time to watch sports, and we're very excited. I'll be glued to the TV for the next few weeks, especially if Michigan State goes far, which they are. So, like we always do, we're going to start off with a coin flip.
Yep.
Jacob, call in there.
Tails. Yep, that's
The tails. All right, so we're going to start in the West. Jacob and I are both going to make a pick, and my pick will be in black, Jacob's will be in green. And if we disagree, then we'll have, I guess we'll have to put our picks next to each other. But first one, let's go to the first one. Who do you want to start off with?
You just want to go down, and I'll do
go in the West.
Gonzaga versus Georgia State. This is a no-brainer. It's only happened once where the number 16 team's ever won against the number 1 team, and I strongly believe that this won't happen, even though Georgia State's pretty good. So I'm going with they are pretty good.
Gonzaga. I'll put it down.
Okay.
So we both agree that Gonzaga wins this one. All right.
Here, you just want to hold this one.
All right. So the next one is, I think, a little bit 8-9 is always a coin flip. I have Memphis winning this game. They've been playing very well. Memphis is on, they've been, I think they're 10-2 in the last 12 games ever since Bates has gone out and hasn't played. They're playing much better without him. So I have Memphis winning this. They're long, athletic, and they're very athletic team. Who do you have?
Yeah, I have Boise State.
Oh, our first one.
I don't like teams that
So I have Memphis. Let me see.
I don't like teams that can't shoot in the tournament.
So Jacob has Boise State. Dylan, who do you agree with?
I think Memphis is going to win.
All right. Dylan's going to be very smart on that.
Whatever.
All right. Number 5 versus number 12. UConn versus New Mexico State.
This is also, I've seen that New Mexico State could win, but I'm going to go with UConn. I think they're a better team, and they have more players that are bigger, and I think that they're going to win.
UConn's just very athletic. I have them winning. New Mexico State, I didn't even know they had an athletic program, so I'm going to have UConn winning this one. Mm-hmm. All right, go to the next one, Jacob. Number 4 versus 13.
This one is interesting. It's Arkansas versus Vermont. At first, I had Vermont winning, but now looking at it more, I think I like Arkansas better. I think they're on a really hot streak right now, and I don't think Vermont's going to beat them. I think they play in a less good division, and from that, I think Arkansas will win.
I don't know if that less good is a phrase that you want to be remembered by, but that league is definitely not as tough as the SEC, and Arkansas is shown to be very good. Arkansas is very athletic, they're gritty. Funny thing is, in most of my brackets, I have Vermont winning this game. I like Vermont. I think they're well-rounded, and I think they're offensively they're very good. The problem is they have never faced the type of athletes that Arkansas is going to throw at them. So because of that, I have Arkansas winning this game. All right, let's go to the next one. 6 versus 11, Jacob.
I'm going to go with the number 11 team. It's either the Rutgers or Notre Dame. They're going to play. They're going to be finished after this game. I think the Rutgers are going to win. And Alabama is very inconsistent. They've been losing. And I don't like teams that are very inconsistent and you don't know what they're going to do.
So who do you have?
So I got the Rutgers.
You have the play-in team?
Yeah, the playing team.
Okay.
Because I don't think Notre Dame's going to win.
Well, either one, I think Notre Dame or Rutgers could beat Alabama. I think Alabama got seeded very favorably in this bracket. I don't think they're a 6 team. What are they, 18 and 12 or 19 and 12? I don't think they're very good. They started off the season very well, but then kind of faded in the end. And so I have the play-in winner. I think Rutgers is going to beat Notre Dame in the play-in game and then win that. So I'll just put the play-in right here.
Yep.
All right, the next one, Texas Tech versus Montana State.
This is also a no-brainer for me. I have Texas Tech going actually pretty far in this tournament. I like how they play, and this is a nobody school, Montana State. I think that Texas Tech's going to easily win.
I have Texas Tech winning this game too. I think they're defensively very sound, and they have some experience in the tournament. They have a good coach, so I have them winning right now in that. Okay, the next one, 7 versus 10, Michigan State versus Davidson.
I have Michigan State winning. I think this is gonna be a really close game. But Michigan State will probably pull the win because they play pretty good defense, and their tournament really relies on their offense and their ball handlers. If they turn over the ball like they sometimes do a lot, then they're not going to go far. But if they don't turn over the ball and make good shots, then they could actually go pretty far.
So the reason why I have Michigan State winning this game is because they're better. But they're also Michigan State. They struggle against teams that put pressure on them offensive, like defensively. So when the people don't press and they can set up their offense, they're a very tough team to beat Michigan State. Davidson doesn't have the athletes to go after Michigan State's guards, and that's why Michigan State's going to win. But Davidson's good. I mean, they don't have Steph Curry on their team anymore, but they do have a lot of three-point shooters, and they're going to bomb threes. They have 3 players that are going to be just bombing threes. So the game will be close, but Michigan State's going to win this one. All right, next one, Duke
versus Fullerton.
Yeah, Cal State Fullerton. Who do you have? Just Duke?
Yeah, I have Duke.
Okay. All right. Do you want to finish this bracket?
Might as well.
Let's go finish this out.
Gonzaga.
Or the West, sorry.
Gonzaga versus either Memphis or Boise State, or did we go with Memphis?
No, we didn't go with it. You can say they're going to have to play.
It doesn't matter who wins right here. I'm going with Gonzaga.
Yeah, I have Gonzaga winning this game too. However, I think Memphis will give Gonzaga some problems. The reason why is because Memphis has got a lot of athletes, and Gonzaga doesn't have a bunch of athletes. They got good skill players, but Memphis has pure athletes that will go at them, and so I think Memphis will give them a little bit of problem. I think Gonzaga, if they're looking at the Memphis Boise State matchup, they'd rather play Boise State because that's who they play against pretty much in their league. But they haven't faced a team as athletic as, they have throughout the season, but not regularly like Memphis. All right, the next game, UConn versus Arkansas.
I did have UConn, but I'm going with Arkansas now just because they play better competition, and I think they are more athletic than UConn. But I think UConn has more skilled players, but still, I like Arkansas better.
I like Arkansas because I think they're gritty, so I have Arkansas winning this game also. But I think this is a very close game.
It's going to be a good game.
All right, who do you have, Rutgers or Texas Tech?
I have Texas Tech. I really like this team. I think that's all I got to say is this team's pretty good.
I have Texas Tech winning this game too. I think Rutgers can give them some problems because Rutgers has some shooters and has some athletes. Ron Harper Jr. is actually a pretty good player that can give them problems, but I think overall Texas Tech is better. All right, the next game, Duke versus Michigan State.
I don't think either of these teams would, if any of these teams won, would beat Texas Tech. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Duke will win off because they do have the athletes to go against Michigan State.
You told me yesterday that you're going to put Michigan State there. I'm not going to tell
me that.
Michigan State's going to be able to win this game. If they win this first game, they're always going to the second weekend. So I have Michigan State beating Duke in the first real upset of the tournament. All right. Gonzaga versus Arkansas.
Gonzaga.
You have Gonzaga again? I do too. I actually think this will be a good game too. Gonzaga has too many big skilled guys for Arkansas to win.
Yeah.
All right, the next game. Oh wait, you had Duke over here, Jacob. So I'll put Duke over here. Who do you have, Texas Tech or Duke?
I'm gonna tell you, Duke's been playing very off and on. They're either red hot or they're doing horrible. I think Texas Tech will overwhelm them and they will win against them. Because I don't like Duke this year. I think they have too many problems. They have too many freshmen that are probably going to be inexperienced. And I think they have too many head cases on their team as well.
I hope they lose because I don't want Coach K to win.
Yeah, he won't.
But I already have them losing Michigan State. So I have Michigan State beating Texas Tech. I think that's going to be a matchup of the Final Four game from a couple years ago. So I have Texas Tech losing to Michigan State. Who do you think?
This
Dylan?
is a crazy West.
All right, the last one, Jacob. You have Gonzaga versus Texas Tech.
Better not.
Who do you
Michigan
have?
State. Well, Gonzaga, obviously.
All right. This is where Michigan State ends their run. Gonzaga is a good team. We just don't have enough size to beat them, and so I have Gonzaga.
How are they supposed to beat Duke and Texas Tech?
Because Duke has a guy who's 7'1", Mark Williams, who's pretty good. He's not an offensive force, Pablo is an offensive force, but we can double him. I just don't think they have enough perimeter shooting. And when you don't have perimeter shooting in the NCAA tournament, you're going to struggle. And so Michigan State can exploit people with size in terms of they're not being skilled offensively. Gonzaga has skilled big guys that are different. We can't double one or two guys on that team. And that's the difference between Duke and Gonzaga. That's why I'm not afraid of Duke. I'm afraid of Gonzaga, and that's why I had Michigan State falling eventually, which will still be a good season for Michigan State because a lot of people didn't have them going far. But again, this is my bias towards Michigan State, so you can take that as a grain of salt. But Michigan State always does well in the tournament. All right, let's go to the East, Jacob.
All right.
One, Baylor versus, let's just say Baylor.
Baylor.
All right.
Even though I don't think they're as good, they definitely should not have been a number 1 team.
They've been playing well. Okay, who's the next one? 8, 9.
I'm picking North Carolina. They've been playing very well recently. They did beat Duke.
I have them winning too against Marquette. They've been playing very well. They're actually playing well at the right time of the season. Mm-hmm. Next game, Indiana versus. Oh wait, no, sorry.
St. Mary's.
Yeah, Indiana versus St. Mary's.
Yeah, I did have Indiana, but I think St. Mary's is an underrated team, even though they're 5.
Do you have St. Mary's?
Yeah, I have St. Mary's.
Oh man, you want to talk about the most boring team in America? That's St. Mary's. And so I have Indiana, who's been playing very well, who should have won the Big Ten tournament. But they've been playing very well. They got Rob Finney back, their point guard. And St. Mary's likes to slow it down. Guess who can play a slow-down game? Indiana. But Indiana has better athletes than St. Mary's.
St. Mary's has better shooters.
Yeah, we'll see. Indiana has some shooters, too. So that's a difference. Who do you think, Dylan?
Indiana.
That's what I think.
Okay, this.
Okay. UCLA versus...
UCLA.
All right, let's just say
I love UCLA.
So do I.
They're going crazy. They're going to go.
All right. I have UCLA too. Texas versus Virginia State.
I'm taking Virginia Tech.
Did I say Virginia State? I mean Virginia Tech.
Well, I think they're red hot right now. They won their tournament. And yeah.
I have Tech too. Also, they've been playing very well. Texas has been very inconsistent. Texas always has really good athletes and has good players. Somehow they never put it together. How can they, I mean, I don't get it. So I have Virginia Tech winning that. Purdue versus Yale.
Purdue.
Purdue.
That's it. I don't know why Yale's even in here.
Well, they won the Ivy League. All right, this game I don't know much about. Murray State versus San Francisco.
Murray State is playing very well. They have one of the best records in the country. They have a few players that actually played with John Morant when they beat that. Forgot who they beat. But I think they are experienced, and this is actually a sleeper team that could go really far.
They're going to lose in the next round to Kentucky. Well, I'm assuming we both have Kentucky here.
No? Oh, yes. I'm just joking. I'll explain it when we go around.
All right. So let's go. Baylor, UNC.
This is the last game Baylor will win, and I'm going with Baylor.
All right. I have Baylor winning this team.
Even though I do believe that UNC could pull this.
All right. St. Mary's or UCLA?
UCLA.
I have UCLA going there too. Tech versus Purdue.
Sorry, Virginia Tech. Purdue has better players.
Jacob, you've been looking at my thing. I think the East is easier than the West.
I do believe that this might be one of the hardest ones.
The West bracket is hard. All right. So you have Purdue. Who do you have? Murray State or Kentucky?
All right. Murray State and Kentucky is actually a rivalry.
Rivalry?
Yeah, sorry. Therefore, I'm still going with Kentucky.
What was all that build-up for? I have Kentucky here.
I'm sorry.
But I agree with you. I think it'll be a closer game.
Because Murray State is in Kentucky.
But here's the problem. Murray State doesn't have big guys. And Kentucky's
a very balanced team.
Kentucky actually has a beast of a human being playing down low.
Averages like 15 rebounds.
And he will eat apart a small school team just by himself. All right, Baylor, UCLA.
I'm going with UCLA. Baylor has been injured. They don't run as many guys as other teams do. Still, I'm going to UCLA. I think they're better. And Baylor's not that good. I don't believe that they're a good number 1 team.
I think they're good.
And they have injuries, too.
I think they're good. They're very inconsistent. They're just not as good as last year. Last year, they had like 3 pros. This year, they have maybe 1. But I have UCLA winning.
And their big man is injured for the whole season.
So I have UCLA winning. I like UCLA. They have like 3 or 4 players that are 6'6", 6'7", that are wing players that are very skilled, especially Johnny Duzang and Jaime. And they also have Jewel, whatever, I forgot. Bernard?
Yeah.
Jacques is Jaime. But those guys are good. If those guys consistently get to the bucket, they're going to win. And I have UCLA winning this one. Purdue or Kentucky?
This is top 3 hardest games for me. I ended up going with Kentucky.
Whoa.
I think Kentucky has better players. They have a shooter. His name's like Grady. He's been in a slump, but if he gets on a hot streak, this team's really good. I really like their big man, Oscar. I don't know his last name. I'm not going to attempt it either. But yeah.
Here's the problem with Oscar. Purdue has a 7'3" monster, and then they also back him up with another 6'9" monster in Javon Williams. And also, they have Purdue.
They're not good enough to stop Oscar, though.
Yet both of them, the thing is, both of them are big boys, and both of them are skilled offensively, so they're going to make Oscar work on the defense end. Here it is. It's going to boil down to who is the best player on the court. And Purdue has the best player on the court in Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey is the best player on either one of those teams. And so I think he's going to be the difference maker. This will be a good game.
We have seen them where if they shut down Ivy and they have a decent big man, kind of like Michigan State, that they are a losable team. They did lose to Michigan State, and Michigan State is not as good as Kentucky.
No, Michigan State would be Kentucky. Here's the thing. It's hard to gauge when conference teams go against conference teams. It's hard to gauge that and say, oh, Michigan State beat Purdue, so Purdue is going to lose to. That's hard to play because these two teams, like Purdue and Michigan State, Purdue and Indiana, Purdue and Wisconsin, they play against each other a lot. They know each other's playbooks. Kentucky doesn't know how to play. It hasn't played Purdue. They don't play them every year in and out.
Better players.
They don't play. SEC is not better than the Big Ten this year.
Very comparable.
So I have Purdue winning. Who do you think? Purdue, Kentucky.
Oh, about time.
All right, UCLA or Kentucky or Purdue or
I'm going
Kentucky.
with Kentucky.
Whoa, you talk bad about Kentucky way down here, and now you have Kentucky winning it all.
I do believe that Murray State is a very underrated team.
All right,
but Kentucky, what's going to boil down to UCLA versus Kentucky is Oscar. I don't believe they do have some big men.
UCLA has a couple of big men, but Cody Riley's a big guy.
Yeah, but Cody Riley can't guard Oscar.
Oscar isn't very skilled offensively. He's a beast as a defensive
all they need
rebounder.
him to do is rebound the ball, and he's probably the best rebounder or top 3 rebounder in the whole nation.
I have Purdue winning that against UCLA. I think UCLA is a good team. I just think overall, like I said, it often boils down to who has the best player. And if Ivy is the best player on the court and plays as the best player on the court, he's going to lead Purdue very far. And so far we've seen is he is very capable of carrying teams. All right, let's go to the next one. South.
All right, well, first one's pretty
Arizona.
easy. Arizona.
All right. Even though we don't love Arizona. Okay. Seton Hall, TCU.
I do believe Seton Hall will win, but then I checked, and they have like 7 people injured on their team. It's kind of... So I'm going TCU.
All right. I don't love TCU, but I have Seton Hall. I think Seton Hall always has athletes, always has...
One of their best players is injured.
Always plays well, and I think they're going to win. Houston, UAB.
This could be an upset game because I don't believe Houston is as good, but I think Houston will win still.
All right. I have Houston winning. Illinois versus Chattanooga.
Illinois is pretty good, so I'm still going.
Illinois, Colorado State, Michigan.
So this is probably the hardest one for me, just because of how much of a letdown Michigan is. It boils down to their players sucked this year, and their coach is awful as well.
The whole school in general sucks.
Yeah,
but okay, go ahead.
I heard Michigan's point guard didn't travel with the team because he's in concussion protocol, and it probably doesn't matter. But I'm gonna go with Colorado.
Whoa,
State.
Jacob!
It really shouldn't be like this. It's a 6-11.
Well, they are a higher seed than Michigan. I have Michigan. I think Michigan shouldn't have made the tournament based upon the resume. They got in as 11 seed. Regardless, I think Michigan's gonna beat Colorado State. I think they're better. and I hope they play better. But they're as a team, they're better. All right, Tennessee, Longwood.
Tennessee is probably
Go ahead.
the second best team in this region.
Oh.
I don't know why they're number 3. They could be number 1 potentially. They could.
I don't know.
They're better than Baylor. So.
All right. Well, Dylan, do you think Michigan's gonna win to Colorado State?
Colorado.
Oh,
Yeah.
he doesn't even know. He probably didn't even know Colorado State was a college.
I just hate Michigan.
That's true. All right, Ohio State versus
yes.
Loyola.
I've always been against Sister Jean, but I'm going with Loyola.
I am too.
Ohio State's not that good. They're never good. What a waste of a program they are, because they always get the best players and they never do anything. So.
Well, they have Lindell, who's pretty good, and they have athletes. Ohio State always has good players. They just don't seem to put it together. They're like a poor man Michigan, or Michigan is a poor man. I don't know how you want to say it. I don't like either
Both
college.
very bad.
But I have Loyola Chicago winning. They're a very well-rounded team, and so I have them winning. Nova or Delaware?
Villanova.
Okay, let's go up there. Arizona or TCU?
Arizona's a very solid team this year, for first time in a while.
No, they're always solid.
In a while.
All right, Houston or Illinois?
Illinois.
All right, I have Illinois too. All
I
right,
think that their center is going to be a problem.
I'm assuming you have Tennessee
Of
winning.
course, I have Tennessee winning.
All right, I have Tennessee winning over Michigan. Okay.
I have Villanova winning this next one. Sorry.
Nova. I think this game is actually going to be a very fun, not fun watching game, but I think it'll be very close. I think Loyola plays like a poor man Nova. Villanova is who Loyola wants to be. Gillespie on Nova is a very good point guard. He might be the best point guard in the country. He doesn't turn over the ball. He hits good threes, makes good decisions. He's a good player. It always seems like Villanova always has good point guards. They had Brunson.
Good college point guards. None that can translate to the NBA.
Well, Brunson's pretty good in the NBA. Okay, who do you have? Arizona, Illinois.
This is actually going to be a very close game. I'm going to go with Arizona.
I think Arizona is by far the best team in this region. I'm just going to say that now.
I think Illinois could cause problems.
I actually think this region is the softest, weakest region in the whole bracket.
Yes.
All right, Tennessee, Nova.
Tennessee's playing hot. I do believe that they should have been the number 2. I'm going with Tennessee. They have very good guards. They've been red hot, and they won their tournament too.
So this was a tough one. I actually had Tennessee in there, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, Tennessee is one of those teams that it's very athletic, very good, but then they're very inconsistent. They'll show flashes of greatness.
Inconsistent.
But Villanova is always consistently good. Jay Wright is a great, great coach. I think he's overlooked in a lot of circuits, and he's a great coach. And I think they have the players that he can coach, and I like Villanova. Mm. All right, Jacob, who do you have? Arizona or Tennessee for your game?
This is probably going to be the closest game of this whole
wait,
region.
Dylan, who do you think? Do you think Arizona or
Tennessee or Nova?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm going with Arizona.
You're going with Arizona?
I think they are the best team. This is probably the easiest team.
This is the easiest bracket. The South is the easiest bracket in my opinion. I don't think there's one. Arizona is the only one that consistently played good all year. Everyone else is kind of up and down. And so I have Arizona winning the South too. All right, next one: Kansas, Texas Southern.
Kansas.
All right, Kansas. I tell you the truth, I don't love Kansas. I'm not big on Kansas, but I have Kansas there. All right. San Diego State or Creighton?
San Diego State.
Who did I? Oh, I put San Diego State too.
They played better teams. They had a better strength of schedule, and I like a team that plays defense and shoots.
All right, Iowa or Richmond?
Iowa. They have a really good point guard on there, or is he point guard?
No, he's a
shooting guard.
He's a shooting guard / small forward. Keenan Murray could be one of the best players in America.
He's probably the best player of this whole side.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Well, he's a first-team All-American. All right, Providence or South Dakota State?
The thing is, every year for March Madness, the bracket, there's like a double-digit team that goes to either the Sweet 16 or Elite Eight, and it's happened every year. South Dakota State's probably that team that's gonna do it.
All right. So he has South Dakota. I do not have them. I think Providence is just too athletic. I'm sorry. Maybe I put too much emphasis on athletes, but I think Providence. They have David Duke, who's a very good shooting guard.
Do you want me to tell you why Providence won't win? It's because when Providence plays teams that can shoot, they always struggle. This is the best 3-point shooting team in the whole nation, they said.
But with the athletes that Providence has, they should be able to run out in the shooters.
Yeah, but they've been known to do worse when they play against shooting teams.
Okay. Who do you think, Dylan?
Providence.
Providence? All right. LSU or Iowa State?
Here's the thing with LSU is that they've been very inconsistent, and their coach got fired like a week ago.
So you
I'm
have
going with
Iowa
Iowa State.
All right. I do not have Iowa State. I actually like LSU. I think they're a very good team, but I have LSU winning that game. Who do you think, Dylan?
LSU.
All right. Wisconsin versus Colgate.
I'm going with Wisconsin. They have another guard that's one of the best in the nation. I think his name is Johnny Davis.
Johnny Davis is really good. I have Wisconsin winning that. USC versus Miami.
I'm going with USC. I think they have more athletic people.
This is a very popular upset pick, Miami over USC. I have USC. I like USC.
They have a Mobley brother.
They have a Mobley brother who's good. They have shooters. They have length. I think that could give people problems. So I have USC winning. Auburn or Jackson State?
I do believe Auburn is going to win this, and Auburn probably should have been the number one team of this region.
They kind of choked in the tournament, though, in their own tournament.
Yeah, but they are the best team.
Kansas or San Diego State?
I'm going with Kansas.
I have Kansas winning this, too. Who do you have, Iowa or San Diego State?
Iowa.
You have Iowa?
Yeah.
All right. So do I.
I like San Diego State, but I think Iowa's going to I think they're going to beat them.
Do you have Iowa State or Wisconsin?
Oh, I did have Iowa State, but I'm going with Wisconsin.
I have Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin is pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. USC or Auburn?
Auburn.
All right. I have an upset here. I have USC over Auburn. Auburn does have very good athletes.
Auburn is a better version of USC.
I just don't love. I just don't.
Jabari?
Is it Bruce Pearl? Is he the coach? I
Yeah,
don't love him. I don't love the coach at Auburn. I think Auburn has good players. I just, for some reason, I think they're the most talented team in this bracket, in this Midwest bracket. I just don't love them. I think USC, their length can bother people, and they have long players, and I think they can cause problems.
They don't have a ton of playmakers though. Auburn, if they play at their potential, is probably the best team of this whole side.
Yeah. Well, okay. Kansas or Iowa?
I have an upset. Iowa.
Whoa.
I think Iowa should have been seeded higher, but they won the Big Ten tournament.
They did.
Against a okay Kansas team.
Oh no, they beat Purdue. They beat Purdue in the Big Ten tournament. All right, I had Kansas beaten.
No. I'm just saying Kansas is an okay team.
Yeah, they're very similar actually. These two teams.
Yeah, but didn't you say it comes down to who the best player is? And Iowa does have the best player.
Well, they have another. The shooting guard for Kansas is actually pretty good.
But is he better than this?
He is. He's very comparable. That's the problem. He's also an All-American, and he is probably one of the better shooters in the tournament. So I have Kansas winning this. Kansas is deep. They're always loaded with 5-star players, and they're starting to play well too. Who are you at, Wisconsin or Auburn?
I have Auburn.
We're really different in this bracket.
I know this is one of the hardest ones.
All right, I have Wisconsin.
I just can't imagine Wisconsin going this far.
I have Wisconsin. They're not going to beat themselves ever, Wisconsin. They're always going to be in every game. They're not going to get blown out. They control the tempo. They have good players. If Johnny Davis is fully healthy, which I hope he is, He was undercut and got hurt. If Johnny Davis can be healthy and still produce numbers, Johnny Davis could lead them over Auburn or USC. All right. Who do you have going in the Final Four in here?
I have Auburn.
Jacob has Auburn, huh?
I think this team's really good.
All right. I do. I have Wisconsin.
That's interesting.
All right. So it comes down to our Final Four now. So our Final Four has Gonzaga going against Purdue, Arizona going against Wisconsin. Jacob has Gonzaga versus Kentucky, Arizona versus Auburn. So who do you think is going to win your game of Gonzaga versus Kentucky, Jacob?
I think that the person that you're going to see that's going to control this game will probably be Chet, and I'm going with Gonzaga.
Ooh.
I think they're more deep than Kentucky.
I have Gonzaga, even though I think Purdue could beat this team because they're one of the few teams that have the height to compete with Gonzaga. So I have Gonzaga winning this. I think
he's a slow man. Chet is a legit 7-foot point guard.
Well, I don't know the point guard, but he's very good.
He can run down.
All right, who do you have, Arizona or Auburn?
I think Arizona has more better players than Auburn does. I think they're more deep than Auburn, so I'm going with Arizona.
All right, I have Arizona here too. And then national championship.
This one was a close one, but I went with Gonzaga.
Wait, you didn't put it in.
Oh, well,
where is it?
If you want to check my phone, it's Gonzaga.
All right.
Cheating.
I have Gonzaga and Mark Few finally winning the championship. My tiebreaker, I have 79-71. What is yours, Jacob?
Mine was like 68-58.
68?
Oh, no, 68-62.
That's a low-scoring game. Both
I think it's going to
are...
be a defensive game.
So I think Gonzaga beat Arizona already beginning of this year, and I also believe UCLA and some good teams. I think Gonzaga's going to win. Mark Few's finally going to get the championship. The reason why I think Gonzaga's going to win is this year there's no real dominant team. Yeah. Like in the past, we had teams that looked like, whoa, no one's going to beat this team. And they're heavy on favorites. Or there are two teams that look like they are really the battle. Here, this field is wide open this year. I really believe that. I think
it's a hard one.
I think this year it's wide open. I think Gonzaga is going to be a popular pick just because they have pretty much run the table as being either the number 1 or number 2 team in the country all year, and they have the talent. Gonzaga, they have the same issue. We're going to talk about it later in another video, but their biggest issue is, do they have enough good guard play to win? That was their weakness last year, is that they didn't have it. And so that's my concern. So Dylan, out of all the things here, who do you have picking winning it? The whole thing.
Gonzaga. All
right, so you have 3 people here that think Gonzaga is going to win it. I think Gonzaga is going to win it, but it could be anyone's guess. I'm not as confident about Gonzaga winning it as I have in the past about other teams, but who knows?
I think there's 8 legit teams that could make the Final Four.
And Jacob really likes Auburn. I mean, I'm surprised you don't have Auburn beating Arizona because Auburn has Jabari Smith, who's one of the top players in the country, who's going to be probably a top 3 pick.
Probably a Piston.
Maybe. Hopefully. I'd rather have Chet. But Auburn could surprise people. I just think right here, if Auburn doesn't get tripped up in this game, they could go all the way.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to get tripped up.
I think USC is probably, just because of how long they are, I don't know if Wisconsin has the height to go against Auburn, so that's why I think this is a doable game and they have a clear path.
Yeah, and I said, I think the hardest region is the East. The West. Sorry, the West is the hardest bracket.
I think the West and Midwest.
I think the South is the easiest. I think Arizona got the easiest road to the Final Four.
Yes.
And so I hope you enjoyed this video. We love March Madness. I hope you guys are filling out your brackets. And you make sure you close them out before tomorrow morning because it starts. We love it. I'm going to be watching it throughout the whole weekend. My wife probably won't be happy because I'll be watching sports for the whole... I try to do that every weekend, but at least I have a legitimate reason to do it with March Madness. And so thank you. I hope you enjoyed episode 38 of Your Take, My Take by John and Jacob and Dylan. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
Dylan.
And we'll see you guys later.